So in today's session, we're going to discuss about cookie and session management. So nothing but there are two super global variables, right? Dollar underscore cookie and a dollar underscore session, right? So the thing is here, when to use cookie, when to use session. We know when to use server variable, when to use get, post, request. All we seen as of now. Now these are the two more important variables and which are also the mostly used one in interviews and real time, guys. I mean, definitely, if you are creating a login logout kind of system for the application, definitely you should know about session and cookie. How a user log in to the application, when a user logged into the application, how we can know whether a user is logged in or not, on what basis we are going to be identify whether user is logged in or not. There is either session or cookie, which one is better. So what are the drawbacks inside a session or cookie, one over another? What are the advantages inside of it? So we can discuss these now, okay? Right. But before going to talk about this cookie variable and session variable, first of all, I want to talk about this is cookie and session management. Some people will call them as a state management objects also, guys. These two variables are called state management objects. If you can know bit knowledge in Java, they people call it as a state management. What is a state management? If you can go to React also, there is a concept called state management. That is, React state management is different, and here our state management is different. Okay, right. So before going to this session and cookie, first of all, I want to know one question. Why should I use session and cookie? You know one thing, so many people working in real time on PHP, uh, they have many years of experience. I don't know exactly how many years of experience they are having. Definitely, I can tell you one thing, guys. Everybody who is having experience, they know how to create session, how to access session, how to create cookie, how to access a cookie, but they don't know why they are using session and cookie. Now first and foremost thing, we should know what is the purpose of session and cookie. Then we will go how to implement session and cookie. So there is a problem. So in our passing data from one page to another page, to overcome that problem, we can use session and cookie. What is that problem? We will see now, right? Okay. So to better understanding of the purpose of session and cookie, we should know about protocols. What is this is a call? Protocols, guys. I just want to write it. Protocols. Yeah. Anybody, what are the available protocols? Do you know? Right. Can you tell me some protocols names? The protocols which are available in it, right? So lot of protocols. Maybe HTTP is a protocol, HTTPS is a protocol, SMTP is a protocol, UDP is a protocol. Everybody studied about this protocol, TCP/IP. You studied or not? I think you may studied about FTP protocol also, right? So like this, we may have we have so many protocols are there here. Definitely, these are all the some protocols which we are having in the market right now: HTTP, HTTPS, SMTP, UDP, TCP/IP, FTP. Guys, one thing I directly want to ask you: if you want to open any website, so are we using HTTP or HTTPS? Yes or not, right? Or else are you using SMTP? No. SMTP Facebook.com? No. FTP Facebook.com? No, you're not using them. If you want to open any of the website, we know that these are the two protocols we will use. HTTP or HTTPS. So now you can see, I will open a website. Uh, okay, this is a website. Okay, let me go this website. I have a website here. Can you see this is not secure? I mean, the URL of this web is going to be, if you can check this, can you see this is HTTP, right? So this is the one website I created for a institute. Now I'm going to open one more, nareshit.com. This is also the website which I created for Naresh IT, for our institute actually. So this is in WordPress, guys, actually. No need to worry. So this is, can you see the protocol which you are able to see now? Can you see this is a protocol with HTTPS, that is a website with HTTP protocol. So these two websites I created. So that's why I know that what is a protocol something now, or else you can see this is Zumas. Now you can see what is this Zumas exactly. Zumas is also come with HTTPS, definitely, right? Some websites are with HTTP, some websites are HTTPS. Definitely, I don't know how many websites are there in the world. Every website if you want to open, we need a protocol called HTTP or HTTPS. Okay, right. Can you tell me, in the previous session we created a contact.html page, right? Okay, contact.html page, all of you try to see. We have contact.html. If you can submit the form here, so what happened, the data was transferred to save.php. In save.php we collected it, yes or not, right? Can you tell me, in contact.html we used a method get. If we can use method get, data appended in URL, it was transferred to save.php. Or else you are using method post, data was not transferred, data was not appended in URL, the data was transferred to save.php. So we know that this is secured, that is not secured, we thought that, right? Can anybody tell me who is the father of this post method and get method? These are the methods, right? These are the methods actually. Remember carefully, these are the methods. But one thing, okay, one question, tell me please. You are entering some data in contact.html. Once you submit the data in the HTML, the data was transferring to save.php now? Yes, we able to see yesterday in the last session, I believe. Can you please tell me who is transferring the data from contact.html to save.php? So where to go, we know that is action. Also, we know action here. We will mention something called save.php, right? We know that. Or else you are creating a form, on submit the form, where to go, and we know that. Can you please tell me who is transferring this data from that location to this location? Now I'm going with the form tag. Generally, here we have a form method equal to, by default, get method, right? And action is equal to some action save.php. So on submit the form was transferring to save.php with the data. My question, who is transferring the data from contact.html to save.php? Who is the carrier in between these two files? Action means where to go. That's all. Action means where to go. We mentioned where to go, but where to go I mentioned, but who is carrying the data from contact.html to save.php? That's my question. Anybody please? Who is transferring the data from contact.html to save.php? Do you know guys who is transferring? So first of all, tell me one thing. What is a protocol? What is a protocol? You already studied, right? Can you please tell me what is a protocol and what is a protocol duty? The basic definition. What is a protocol? Anybody? Set of rule. Okay, set of rules for whom? For you and me. You are saying very good. Set of rules, you said. For example, a minister or prime minister, chief minister is going, they will follow some protocol. Yes or not, right? Okay, means that set of rules. Very good. So you guys are saying that set of rules. A protocol is a set of rules and regulations to transfer the data between the network. Remember carefully. What a protocol duty, you know many protocols. I don't know how many protocols you are going to know. I don't know. Every protocol responsibility is transferring the data from one location to another location. That's the protocol duty. That may be HTTP, HTTPS, TCP, UDP, whatever the protocol it may be. Protocol means it will transfer the data between the network. That may be a local network, that may be a live network, whatever it may be. I don't know, guys. Right? Yeah. So I want to say one thing here. Who is carrying the data from content.html to save.php? No, HTTP protocol is carrying the data. You know, HTTP protocol, who I asked you, right? Who is the father of HTTP? Who is the father of get method and post method? So who is the father of, HTTP protocol is the father of post and get method. So I mean, what I want to tell you, HTTP protocols get method will collect the data, it will transfer the data to save.php, or else HTTP protocols post method will collect the data, it will transfer the data to save.php. Remember, the post and get methods are the part of protocols. You want to Google? Yeah, let me show you. HTTP protocols methods. Just I'm going for Google protocol methods. Just you can check this. What are the methods you are able to see? Post, get, put, patch, and delete. These are the methods of our HTTP protocols. Post and get. You don't need to worry about put, patch, delete, body. Nothing required. So these are the methods which belongs to protocol. I mean, so simply says who is carrying your data to save.php, the get method. Get method is collecting the data, it is transferring to save.php. Post method is collecting the data, it is transferring the data to save.php. Simply says get and post. Father is HTTP protocol. So I can say HTTP protocol will collect the data and it will transfer the data to save.php. HTTP protocol may use its post method, may use its get method to carry the data from one location to another location. So finally, what we have to understand here, a protocol. So in our web networks, if you want to transfer from one data, some data from one location to another location, you should use protocol. Without using protocols, we can't do anything. If there is no protocol, nothing. So this is the purpose of a protocol. Here, I want to talk about one thing. Generally, we have two types of protocols, guys. Here, two types of protocols. So what are the two type protocols, anybody? So one is stateful protocol. This is exactly. Second one is stateless protocols. Anybody please tell me what are the stateful protocols? Can you give me some examples of stateful and stateless? Simply says what is stateful, what is stateless? A brain full, brainless fellow. Who is brainless fellow? Who cannot remember anything? He is called brainless. Who can remember everything? He can call brainful. I mean, nothing but stateful, I can say. I mean, the protocols which can remember each and every request and the responses data, that is called stateful. The protocols which cannot remember the data, they call stateless protocols. So my point is going to be here. The protocols which can remember the protocols data. The protocols which can remember the, sorry, which can remember the previous request data. Previous request data. The protocols which can remember previous request data are called, if they can remember, stateful. Okay, simply stateful protocol simply says. So the same point here I'm writing, right? The protocols which cannot remember the data, which cannot remember the previous request data are called stateless protocols. What they call? Stateless protocols. Now you guys tell me please, what are the examples of stateless protocols? Stateful protocols. I want to know the examples. You seen some protocols just now. Can you tell me two protocols which are belongs to stateful and some of the protocols which are belongs to stateless? Anybody? What are the stateful protocols? Can you give me some examples? Who can remember stateful? Who cannot remember? See, for example, guys, simply says, you can see, I want to tell you one thing. Try to all of you try to see, listen this carefully. There is a person one, person two, person three. There are three people are there. Okay, three people are there. You want to take person four also? Yeah, person four also, you can take it. Right, we have four people. Person one needs to pay 100 rupees to person four. Person two needs to pay 200 rupees to person four. Person three needs to pay to person four 300. So he has to pay, see my point of view, 100 rupees to P4. He needs to pay 200 rupees to P4 and he needs to pay 300 rupees to P4. Total, how much they have to pay? Almost all 600 rupees they have to pay to P4. Okay, what happened here? You can see what P1 is doing. P1 needs to pay 100 rupees to P4. P2 needs to pay 200 rupees to P4. You can see the diagram, exactly the flow, what I'm writing here. I will show you practically also, wait for some time. So this is exactly the flow we are having. So now what happened? By using HTTP protocol, he is transferring, he can use either get method or post method. He is transferring the 100 rupees to P2. Okay, 100 rupees to P2. Okay, data was transferred to 100 rupees to P2. So what P2 does? P2 collects the 100 rupees, right? P2 needs to pay 200 rupees. Now P2 needs to transfer 300 rupees to P4 actually. There is a rule. But what happened, P2 will use HTTP protocol post method. He will transfer 200 rupees. What is 200 rupees? That is his amount. P2 amount is 200 rupees. That P2 is transferring 200 rupees only to P4. But here you can see now again, what is the P3 amount? If you can see, P3 needs to transfer almost all 300 rupees. You know one thing, P3 is collecting 200 rupees, and now you can see 200 rupees is collected by P3. Here 100 rupees is collected and plus his rupees also. Remember carefully. So P1 amount collected by P2, but P2 is transferring only 200. But actual reason P2 needs to transfer 300, but P2 is transferring 200. Now you can see the same thing here I'm also doing. So here P3 needs to transfer 500 to P4, but what this P3 is doing, by using his post method, he is transferring only 300 rupees. What is the reason? So we are unable to maintain the state. Exactly at the end of it, we are getting 300 rupees only. Why I'm not getting all the 600? So I'm getting my P3 immediate person data only. I'm not getting P1 and P2 data to P4. Why? Right. So now by seeing this, can you tell me who is remember? They call stateful, right? Now you can see the stateful, sorry, who can remember stateful? Who cannot remember stateless, right? The examples are FTP and TCP IP protocols are called TCP and IP. These are all the stateful. They can remember everything, whatever the data you are transferring to it. Now, stateless protocols are here. HTTP and HTTPS protocols are called stateless because they are the brainless. They cannot remember the data, previous request data. Can you see what is the request you are able to see here? The P1, P4, if you can see, P1, P2 request will becomes to P4 as previous request now, P4, and it is immediate request. P3, P4 is immediate request, but for the P1, P2 to P4, what is the relation here? P1, P2 are the previous requests to P4. So which protocols cannot remember the previous request data? HTTP protocols cannot remember the previous request data. Remember, whatever the data the protocols cannot able to remember, that data we have to send it to the P4. The data we have to send to the P4. To send the data to P4, we have to use either session or cookie. This is the reason behind the scenes why we people are using session and cookie. Let me show you programmatically also and diagrammatically also so that you will get more clarity. Okay, so here let me create 4 files like this as per the diagram. So I'm going to create a HTML file. Okay, let me create a form here. Let me save the file with name called p1.php. I'm just going to save the file in your working directory, exam htdocs. Here I have 8 p.m. July. Let me save the file with p1.php. Let me create a small form, guys. I will make it the flow diagram exactly. Try to see h1 tag open, head, right? So write the basic structure, head open, head close. So we know already how to create the forms. So title tag open, title tag close. Let us write session and cookie and session management. Okay, NAGEMENT. Let me write this as a cookie and session management. For everything, I will keep this thing. Right, this is going to be body tag open, body tag close. Don't worry, no need to do big thing. Let me have a heading with a name called person one. I'm just making it as a P1 or person one. You can take anything. Okay, PRS1 person one. He's the person one. Here I'm just creating one small form to transfer the data to P2. Actually, as per the flow, P1 needs to transfer the data to P2 with the help of post method. Right, let us see how we are going to transfer it. Like method is, what is the method we use with that? Post method. On submit it, where we have to go? We have to go to p2.php. That's why my action is like this, guys. It is going to be action equal to, so this is going to be p2.php. That file is not created, we have to create it. Let me do one thing. Let me create a field with a name called number one or person one. Whatever you want, you can take it, person one or number one. So this is the label. Let me create an input field. Input type equal to text. So name equal to num1 or p1. You can take anything, guys, no problem. I'm taking this as a num1. First, let me execute the file. Now I'm going to localhost :/8 p.m. July slash the file p1.php na, yeah, executed. Oh sorry, fp1 na, it is just p1.php. Yeah, so we need to have a submit button guys here, right? So let us go there, and here we can have something called submit button. Now you can check this exactly what is the submit button here. So input to type equal to submit, submit, we have to submit. And let me take value equal to go on, click this button, we have to go to p2. Now you can see I'm entering the value 100 on submit. Where you went? I went to p2. P2 is created. No, create the p2, p3, p4. Now you can check this. Now I'm going to create p2.php, same copy paste. Let me change the file path. This is a person 2, this is also person 2. Let me make this. If you can submit, here you have to go to p3. So in p2, if you can submit, we have to go to p2. Now let me change this also, name of the field also. Now same. Now earlier that is not created. Now you can see you created the value also. Let us create the same as person 3, same copy paste. Save the file with name called p3.php. This is person 3, this is also person 3. Let me go with the p4.php here. This is exactly the p4.php. Let me make it as a num3. In finally p4, what I want to do, I want to collect all these three values. I want to sum them. Okay, that is my aim actually. Let me create a php file, save it as a p4.php. Let me collect it. $n1 equal to $_post of all our post methods, right? What is the first text box field name? This is the num1. Based on the name of the input field, we will get the value. This is the name. Let me collect this num1. This is the first p1 value. I want to get p2 value. I want to get p3 value. Right, these are the things. Now you can take the variables also, n3 and n2, something like this. Now I just want to sum them. $sum equal to, I want to write the sum equal to $n1 plus $n2 plus $n3. Now I want to sum them. Let me see whether I am able to get the data or not. I'm just going to print it. Echo the sum is, I'm printing something like this. The sum is, let me concatenate with the $sum, exactly the variable we are going to be add there. I'm just concatenating the data. Now you can check this. Now you can execute p1.php. All of you try to see guys here. I'm executing from p1.php. I entered some value called 100, submit the button. Now you went to p2. Now I'm entering the value 200. I submitted. I went to p3. Now I'm entering the value 300. If you can submit, you will go to p4. In p4, what I am doing, I'm collecting all the three form values. So if you can get all the three form values properly, you will get the output 600, because p100, p2 200, p3 300. If you can submit this, we have to get now you can see, oh, I am not getting G. Oh, why I'm getting everything as 0? Is there anything wrong? Let me check this. This is num4. Oh my god, this is num3 now. Okay, I made a mistake. Okay, num3, sorry. You can go back, execute the program again. So with the p4, p1, p2, p2.php, yeah, try to see guys this time. So I'm going to 100, submitted, 200, submitted, 300. Now we are expecting an output called 600. Unfortunately, I'm getting only 300. Whatever the data you entered in p1 and p2, the protocols forget. They can remember the current request data only. What a protocol will do, a protocol will always remember the current page data only. They cannot remember the previous request data. p2, p1, p2 to p4. What is the relation between p4 and p1, p2? That is the previous request relation. What is the current request to p4, p3? Yes or not, right? So what is the immediate request as per our flow? Who is immediately connecting to p4? P3, p4, there is a direct relationship. So p3 data can able to get by the p2. Sorry, p3 data can able to get by the p4, but not p2 and p1, because protocols cannot remember the previous data. Protocols will always remember the current page data only. Even though if I can send some data to me, I'm forgetting whatever the data I have, I'm sending that data only. You sent money to me, but I'm not sending your money. I'm sending my money only to the third person, because our communication is happens via a protocol called HTTP protocol. There's a reason we are unable to carry the data. To bring the data, whatever the protocols is forgetting now, and num1 and num2 data protocol is forgetting, that data we have to bring to p4. To bring to the p4, we have to use either session or cookie. Okay, right. Okay, sir, uh, The HTTP protocols are, we have a very big question actually. HTTP protocols are stateless. They cannot remember anything. That's why we're using session and cookie. Sir, here we have stateful protocols. Na? They can remember each and everything, right? Then why people are not using FTP and TCP/IP, right? We can use they, because if they are remembering everything, each and everything, why we are not using stateful protocols? Why we are using stateless protocols? This may be a big question here. Remember, stateful protocols can remember each and everything. Because of that, those protocols are very, very slow because of remembering everything. Got the clarity, guys? Here, stateless protocols are HTTP, HTTPS. They cannot remember anything. They can remember current page data only. That's why they are lightweight. That's why they are very, very faster. I think you got the clarity why the people are not using FTP and TCP/IP. Why the people are always using HTTP and HTTPS. This is the reason, guys, the behind the scenes, right? So if they can, for example, if a website is created by using FTP, now you are opening a browser, FTP, for example, if it is a Facebook or something, whatever it may be, you can say FTP://fb.com. For example, you want to open Facebook. If you can hit enter now, you have to wait at least 2-3 hours to load the Facebook page because FTP protocol remember everything, na? So that's why they are very, very slow. We know that HTTP protocols are a little bit slow. If we can use FTP or TCP/IP, you have to wait for days to open a website. Seriously, guys, that's the reason people will never use stateless protocols. Sorry, stateful protocols. Always they will use stateless, which can be lightweight. Simply says HTTP, HTTPS are lightweight protocols. That's why they become very, very faster. Seriously, this is the reason behind the scenes. So people definitely will ask you the question. So if stateful protocols can remember everything, why we are not using them? Why we are using stateless protocols? Stateless protocols can remember only the current page data. Stateful protocols can remember everything. Because of remembering everything, they are very, very slow. Because they can't remember anything, that's why they become very, very faster. Because of this reason, why all websites are loaded with HTTP protocols. Yeah, I think you got the point very well, I believe. Right. So now our ultimate goal is here, whatever the data we are unable to get, right? P1, P2, the data we are unable to get. P3 data, we are able to get it into P4, right? You know one thing, P1 data you entered, right? Where it will go? It will go to P2. No, you know one thing, in P2, I can access the P1 data. Can you see? I'm just going to print echo $_post of num1. We can get the value. You can see, just I'm printing the num1 value. The P2 value you entered that we can collect in P3. Now you can see I'm just printing the values here so that you will get a clarity. Now you can see I'm just going back to my file. Just you can run the file. Now you can see I'm going to execute p1.php. Now execute the file. You can enter the value 100, submit. Where it went? It went to P2 now. In person2, I'm able to see the value of P2. Sorry, value of P1. Now you can enter 200. Now here 200 and 100 is there. On submit to P3, you are going to send only 200 only. You're not going to send the value. This is num2 na? Sorry, num2. But can I get num1? No, you cannot get the num1 value. Now you can see you are going to get 200, but not the number one value, because number one and number three. Can you see P1 to P3? That is a previous request now. So in the middle there is one request, that is not a direct request. So the P1 value which we entered here, it was transferred to P2. In P2 I have 100 and 200 able to see. If we can submit, it is transferring only 200 to P3, because the relationship between P3 and P1 is a previous request relation. They are not the current request. If it is a current request, yeah, we can get the data to the things, guys. Great. So now we have to bring the data back. What is protocols are forgetting that we have to bring to P4 now? Then if we can bring to the data P4, your application state is perfect. We cannot get any error. Whatever the data we are missing, now our duty is to bring back the data to P4. To do this, we can use a concept called session or cookie. This is the concept. That's the reason we are using the concept called session or cookie. First, let me talk about a cookie, right? So first of all, I want to talk about cookie. By using cookie, whatever the data the protocols are missing, I can bring back to the P4 by using cookies concept. If we can save the data in a cookie, we know cookie is a super global variable. If we can create a cookie in one file, that we can access in P4 also, na? So what is a super global variable? What is the scope of a super global variable? If you are creating a variable in one file, that can be accessible wherever you want within the project, right? So for example, if I create a super global variable in P2, can we access in P4 or not? Definitely. Why? It is a super global variable. That is the scope of a super global variable. If you're creating a variable in one location, that we can access wherever you want. Seriously, guys. So let us see what is a cookie quickly. So now we want to use the concept called cookie to bring the data to P4. Can you quickly tell me what is a cookie, guys? Do you have any idea what exactly a cookie? Yeah, please. Don't you know cookie? So why not? So you can go to Google. You can ask Google. I'm just going for Google cookie. So okay, I'm going for images. Wow, very nice. This is cookie, right? You know very well. So these are the cookies. So cookie is a food item, sir. Cookie is a biscuit. Yes or not, right? So we can say like this, right? Yeah, definitely. Why not? Cookie is a food item. Yeah, we are saying Google is saying that a cookie is a food item. We are asking Google. Google is saying something like this. Can we say cookie means a food item? Half kilo cookies, sir. Pack half kilo cookie, right? Definitely. We can pack. But what is a cookie if we can see technically? A cookie is a small amount of data, or small piece of data that we can store. Can you tell me where can we store the cookie data? Where the cookies are available, guys? Cookies are available. Hmm. Where cookies will be stored? Cache na? No cache. Browser. Remember carefully. Cookie information will always stored inside a browser. In the browser, you are deleting cookies, na? Whenever your browser is slow, people will say delete the cookies and refresh the page. Something like people will say, right? Yeah, cache means everything will be under cache means everything will be gone automatically from your browser, right? Yeah. A cookie is a small amount of data that we can store inside a browser. We can store in a browser. That is called cookie. Small piece of data. I mean, what I want to say, name equal to rom. Yeah, this is a cookie. What is the key of the cookie? Name. What is the value of the cookie? Rom. It is a small piece of data, right? Now I want to save something called city equal to something called HYD. I'm saving something like this. Yes or not, right? Key and value pair combination. But in our PHP, cookies are created. How to create a cookie? There is a method called set cookie. What is the method name? Set cookie. In this method, we have almost all 8 to 7 parameters are there, right? 8 to 7 parameters are there. Parameter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, something like this. These many parameters are there in this method, but all are optional. But first two parameters are mandatory. First two are mandatory. Remaining all are optional, guys. We will talk about later. Don't worry. So first parameter is the name of the cookie. What is this? Name of the cookie. Second parameter is the value of the cookie. What is the simply says key and value, guys. Here simply you can see the example here. Now I'm using set cookie. In this, I want to save name. Here I want to save something called raw. This is the way of creating a cookie. Key and value pair combination. This is going to be the key. You can use any key, but always try to take lowercase letters in the key point. You can take any value there, no problem, right? So it's a good sign to take lowercase characters every time, because every developer will follow lowercase letters only while declaring the keys, so that it is going to be important for you to take like this, guys, right? These are my cookies. Okay, now cookies are there. Cookie created. So this is the way of creating a cookie. Then how to access a cookie? How to access a cookie? Yeah, guys, anybody? Yeah, cookie accessing is nothing but $_cookie. Yeah, by using super global variable, we can access the cookie. What we have to pass, here we have to pass the name of the cookie. What is the name of the cookie? We created two cookies, right? What is the name of the cookie? First cookie, $_cookie. Now you can go there. Here you have to pass the name of the cookie is name only. So this is the way of accessing cookie. Just you want to echo, yes, you can echo this. Now you can see dollar underscore cookie of exactly what is the cookie name, city. This is what exactly the way of accessing cookies. This is a way of creating cookies. This is the way of accessing cookies. Then how to delete a cookie, sir? We have to delete the cookie, right? When cookies will be deleted, anybody? I want to delete, first of all, where the cookie information will be saved inside a browser. So cookies created, cookies accessing. Now, if you want to delete a cookie, how a cookie will be deleted? Remember, if you can close the browser, the cookies will deleted automatically. We don't want to delete them manually, guys. Here, remember carefully. If you can close the browser, the cookie will be destroyed automatically. Okay, let us see the same. So now what is the data you are not able to get? Go there, p1 value, if you can submit, it will go to p2, but the value I am able to say, but this value is not collecting to p3. So what I want to do, in place of it, I want to create a cookie. Can you see, by using a method called set cookie, in this name of the cookie, what we can take, let me take this as a number one. You can take any name, guys. Here I want to keep the variable dynamically. I don't know what is the value you are going to enter. That's why this is my name of the cookie, right? The same story you have to implement in P3 also now, right? Here we have to, we are unable to get the P2 value. So in P3, so what I want to do, where is the value available, there you have to create the cookie, guys, right? So now you can go there. I'm creating set cookie. Inside the set cookie, I'm going to take this as a number 2 comma, this is number, something like this. Can we create number 1 cookie here in P3? No, you cannot create number 1 cookie in P3. Number 1 value will available in P2. See, if you can enter value in P2, the value is available in P2 only now. So then you have to create a cookie in P2 only. You cannot create in P4, somewhere around. Where the value is available, there you have to create the cookie, right? If you can enter the value in P2, the cookie value is transferred to here, right? Yes. So you created a cookie here. Now here I want to access the cookie value. So the number 1 value and number 2 value, we are unable to get them, right? Now you can see $n1 equal to dollar underscore cookie of the name of the cookie for n1, guys. What is the name of the cookie? Number 1 you take, and you can take any name. So I'm taking this, right? Exactly, this is going to be number 1. Yeah, so you have to take number 2 also now. Let me take this number 2 cookie. Now you can see whether we are able to get the data or not. Now I'm going to execute the same program. You can execute it, n1, n2, p1, p2, p3. Right now I'm going to enter the value 100, submitted, 200, submitted, 300. Earlier we got error, undefined index num1 num2. Now if we can get 600, your application state is maintained properly. I am hitting enter. Now you can see there is no error. All the values which we missed earlier because of the protocol stateless, whatever the data the protocol misses, the data we are bring back to the P4, because by using the concept called cookie. Exactly, this is the concept of cookie. Now you get, you know one thing, if we see, cookies are super global variables, right? You can access these cookies in some other pages also. Now you can see, let me open a file which we created, very old array.php. Yeah, let me open this file. So can we access the cookies here? Now let me check this. I'm just going to access the cookie. Where is cookie created? The cookies created are in P2 and P3. Now I want to access the cookies. Print underscore r of dollar underscore cookie. I'm just printing the whole array. Let me execute array.php. If they are super global variables, we have to access them into this also now. Let me go there. I'm going to execute this into, why this is all coming. Now go there. Now this is going to be array.php. Now if this is got, now you can see the cookie values, guys. Number 1 and number 2 cookie values are there or not? Okay, they are some other cookies, maybe they are related to some other, don't worry about those cookies, right? So this is all about the done. Whatever the cookies you created, you are able to get it or not? Yeah, we are able to get it, guys, here, because I have some sessions are already logged in the browsers. That's why these are the things. Maybe all the cookies are related to some other, but our application data is num1 and num2. I told you, right? Cookie information stored in the browser. Sir, how can we see the cookie information, where it will be saved in the browser? Right now, can we see, guys? Yeah, can you see my mouse here? Right, just exactly, I'm going to point on the I symbol, view site information. There is an icon. Can you able to see my mouse in the URL taskbar, address bar? I'm clicking this view site information. Now you can see your connection is to this site is not secure. Okay, no problem. 10 cookies in use. Can you see a biscuit symbol? Show cookies. Now I'm clicking the cookies. Localhost cookies, we have to see. I'm going to cookies, set cookie. PHP sets ID is a cookie. Something if you can bit go down. Can you see number one, number two, number one, number two, number one, number two? These are the cookies you created, right? Click on number one. This is the number one and the value of the cookie and the domain is localhost and the path for 8 p.m. July only the cookie created. We cannot access outside of the 8 p.m. July folder. So can you see the cookie created time 8:43? When the browsing session ends, the cookie will be expires automatically. Now you can see I'm closing the browser completely, guys. If you can close the browser, okay, let me copy this error.php. I'm closing the browser. Browser is got closed. Let me open the browser again. So I'm trying to run the array.php and let me check this cookies will be available or not. I told you if you can close the browser, cookies will be destroyed, right? I told you like this, right? Why it is not opening? It is loading. Wait for some time. Just now we close it, right? And one more thing, guys, I have a doubt. You have created cookies in Chrome browser, right? Can we access the same cookies in Firefox? Is it possible? Guys, it is not at all possible, guys. The cookies which you created in one website cannot access in other website. It is not possible, right? I'm going to say enter the URL array.php. Are you able to see number one, number two? There is no number one, number two. The cookies got deleted. When? Because of the closing browsing session. Because of the closing browsing session, they got deleted, right? That is exactly the cookie concept, guys, here. And one more thing here, what is the problem with cookies, guys, here? Do one more thing. I want to tell you some points regarding cookies here. Cookies can store limited amount of data only. Why? Because they are storing in the browser. Browser doesn't allow you to store 10 MB data, 10 GB data, something like this. Browser does not allow high level memories. Limited amount of data we can store in a cookie, that to 2 KB around. That's all. In a cookie, in one cookie we can store 2 KB around data only we can store cookie. And cookies data is unsecured because we can see the cookies information, right? If possible we can delete the cookies also. That is also valid, guys. Now you can see you are able to see some cookies here. I don't know why these cookies are displaying to me. Let me go there and you can see I'm going to localhost. I'm going to see the cookies. I'm pressing delete button. There is a delete button, remove button, right? Remove, 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 all removed. Now done. If you can refresh the page, can you see, are we getting anything on the browser? No. We can delete the cookie data. We can see the cookie data also. If you are working with kind of sensitive information like usernames and password, login information, bank accounts information, something, definitely you cannot save the data inside a cookie. So because cookie data is not at all secured. So to overcome the drawbacks of cookie, we have to use the concept of session that we can see tomorrow. What you can do, what is the purpose of a cookie? The same we can do by using a session also. Nothing difference, but the session is secured and cookie is not secured. How the session is secured, that we can see in tomorrow's session. What is the purpose of a cookie? Right? What is the purpose of a session? Same. Only thing, they are not, cookies are not secured, sessions are secured. Why they are secured? Why cookies are not secured? We see why cookies are not secured right now. To overcome those drawbacks, we are going to use the concept called session that we can see in tomorrow's session. Okay, thank you, guys. Any doubts, let me know, please, if you have. Okay, all the programs I will upload to Drive. So have any doubts, please let me know. This concept is very, very important. Tomorrow's concept also very, very important. Session, right? Because in application development, we will always use session. Yes, we can set expiry time for the cookie also. That is also possible. I forgot to tell you. Tomorrow I will tell you. Don't worry. Expiration time. How can we create a cookie with expiration time? See, if you can set expiration time to the cookies will be destroyed when if expiration time is completed only. You know one thing, Facebook, if you can log it into Facebook, the Facebook cookie was created for 1 year. So even you see, I just want to open Facebook, guys. 1 minute here. I'm just want to open facebook.php. It is open, right? Can we access num2 cookie in P1? Wow, once created, we can access, man. Once it is created, we can access wherever you want. But while accessing cookie, you have to write one condition: cookie is created or not, by using isSet. Okay, right. Now you can see I logged into the Facebook. I will show you the Facebook cookie here. Now you can see I'm just going to the lock icon here. So what happened? Is it working? Right click on the lock icon. Can you see there are 11 cookies in use? Facebook.com. Let me go there. Cookies. Right, see a user. So what is the expiration time of the cookie? Can you see the cookie created today? Today, na? Not today. July 27, 2021, 8:50 p.m. The cookie created. When the cookie will be destroyed, July 29, 2022, almost all 1 year cookie is available. Okay. If you can delete the cookie, right now this is the cookie there. I'm deleting the cookie. Okay. You delete the cookies. All the Facebook cookies I'm deleting. Okay. Done. So done. You can, if you can just refresh the page, can you see? You logged out automatically, man. If the cookies are not there, it is not allowing you to log in. I mean, it is not showing your profile and all. I mean, definitely. So how they are identifying are you logged in or not? By using something called cookie only, na? Because of deleting. Generally, if you want to log out from the application, we will click the logout button. I didn't click the logout button, but I was logged out from the application automatically, right? Yeah, because of the cookies deletion, the session of your application depends upon a cookie also, that we will talk about very detailed tomorrow. No need to worry about it, right? Yeah. We can store registration form information in cookies also, but what is the purpose of saving registration form data in a cookie? But definitely cookie data will always be available in database. Sorry, registration form data should always be saved in database, na? If you want, you can save the data in cookie also, no problem. But what is the purpose of it? So there is no use of saving the registration form data, but if you want, you can save it, no problem. On our Facebook page, I saw facebook.com, www.facebook.com. What is the difference? Nothing but, man, you can open a website with https www.facebook.com. It can be anything, no problem, right? You can open the website in any manner, it will work. For example, if you purchased your domain mp.com, your name, right? www.mp.com, https.mp.com, you can open your website in any way, no problem. In which situation we can use cookies, sir? If it is a sensitive kind of if it is a non-sensitive kind of information, if you want to display plain text of information, so very plain text of information, I want to use the cookies. But right now you may not understand my point actually. Wait for some time. When database, we are working on database, then I will show you when to use cookie, when to use session properly. You may not, because even if I explain you the situations of a session and a cookie, you may not understand, but you have to see them practically, then only you will remember them forever. Even if I can explain you when to use cookie, when to use session, I will tell you theoretically, but theoretical doesn't help you to remember the things perfectly. So what we will do in upcoming sessions, when I'm discussing registration, login forms, logouts, and then definitely I will tell you cookie concept as well as session. Both I will use there so that you will understand the purpose of session and cookie very clearly. Okay, right. Any other questions if you have, let me know. Very good question. In JavaScript, we have cookies. In PHP also we have cookies. In Java, we have cookies. In Python, we have cookies. In .NET, we have cookies. Are they same? Remember one thing. Cookie means that information will always be saved in a browser only. Whatever the programming language it may be, that may be JavaScript, Java, .NET, Python, PHP. Every cookie will be saved inside a browser only. I mean, they are same, right? If cookie means it is in the browser only, definitely. So the cookie means it will always save the data inside the browser only. Do you know one thing? The cookies which are created in JavaScript, can we access by using PHP? Or else the cookies which are created in PHP, can JavaScript access them? Definitely they can access. By using PHP, we can access other cookies. By using Java, we can access somebody's cookies also, because all the cookies are saved in the browser only, na? So if the cookies are saved in the browser, we can access them, no problem. We can restrict them also. I don't, the cookies which are created by PHP, I don't want to allow any of the application to access them. Yeah, we can restrict them. I think because cookie having 7 to 8 parameters, right? In that we have one parameter actually. By using that parameter, we can restrict them. HTTP true or false, some parameter will be there. By using that, we can. Any other questions you have? Yeah, no questions. That's all. Okay then. So I think all of you okay with the today's session. Tomorrow session, the same will be continued. Don't forget the concept. Whatever the concept we discussed, the continuation will be done in tomorrow session. Okay, right. Thank you all then, and have a nice day. We can see tomorrow.